so many things, and this will be an opportunity for us to actually put it into use, right? So here, since we will try to keep it short, and each person will be given an opportunity to share your insight, to share your thoughts. Let's keep it within 1 to 2 minutes so that other people also get it. How we will go about it is I will tell the speaker's name and what we discussed, a short brief, and then you can uh, remember and share your thoughts and how you use their learn your their teachings in your trainings. We would like to hear that. So how it was implemented in your trainings is what we are interested in. So that is how we will go about. Today I have Chitra with me. She will be
Good
joining us.
evening.
She is here, and we both be moderating this session. Let's keep it as interactive as possible. We would love to see all your faces. So if you can switch on your camera, will be very happy. Yes, thank you, Shweta. We'll be very happy because since it's a very small group, it will be good to see faces and it will be nice. I think so. Right? Ready?
Yeah,
All
so
of you?
this is my first session. Good evening, everyone.
Hi Shweta, good evening.
Yeah, so this is my first session, and I have joined this group through LinkedIn.
That's
Yes,
amazing.
yes. So I think yesterday only I joined this group. So today I
Oh,
got the
great.
opportunity to get insights on your recap session. So it would be a good opportunity for me. So thank you so much for giving this opportunity, and I'm
Yes.
eager to know about the tips and tricks from all of you, the great leaders and the great trainers. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shweta. So this will be like your induction session. So you're
Exactly.
going to, yeah, we are going
Yeah,
to
I'm
set the
already,
platform
I
for.
am into the training field for last 8 years, and I'm catering pan-India clients on
Wow,
manufacturing sectors. Yes.
great.
So let's see. Uh,
Yeah.
I hope I will be having a great learning session
We
today.
hope, yeah,
And
we to hope that IAM, yeah. So before that, just a few words about IAM, Shweta. IAM is this huge community of trainers. We have seasoned trainers with around 20 years of experience, or people like me who have just started. Okay. So this is this amazing community where we all come together to help each other learn, to teach, and to discuss and brainstorm all these amazing ideas and training topics or content creation. Right here, it's a selfless group of people who come together to uplift each other. That's the word I want to use. We uplift each other, right? Without there is absolutely no selfishness. This is absolutely selfless, and replies and responses come like this, right? You ask about
I have
anything,
been in
okay?
that group. There,
Yes,
people are like giving prompt response. So I think it's a
yes.
great initiative from all of
It's a
you.
great platform. Yes, and we have Elvis to thank for that. Okay, for coming up with such an amazing idea. To be honest, I have been part of many other training groups. Right, I have never seen such kind of activity or such kind of participation in any of the groups. Okay, this is one lucky group, right? We are all lucky to be part of this, and thank you, Elvis, for this. So let's start. So just a few guidelines. Let's try to keep our contributions short, like 1 to 2 minutes, right? Let's keep it short. Let's respect the other person's time also. And we would like all of you to participate. And yeah, this is absolutely non-judgmental. Okay. So please go ahead and share your insights and whatever thoughts. Okay. Nobody is going to be judging. So please feel free to share your thoughts. We want maximum participation and maximum interaction. Okay,
Yeah,
shall we
there's one
start?
more thing
Yes.
before we actually begin. We request all of you here and who are actually taking benefit of this group and this drink to bring on your friend and your other colleagues in the fraternity, the training fraternity.
Yes.
It'll add value not only to you but to them also. So
To them.
if each
Yes.
one of us, I'm sure if you make a list of about 10 people that we know in the training community, we could at least invite, if not all 10, at least 8 of them, and it'll add value to them. And like Shweta, today you saw how much you enjoyed going through the YouTube videos. If you could extend this to about 8 to 10 on your list, I'm sure all of us can do that. It's something like, this morning I was thinking of it, Elvis, like network marketing, but actually helping them. There's no buying, there's nothing. In fact, we get a lot in return, absolutely free, and it will actually add value to us. So on that, I hand over to Divya. Go ahead and let's begin.
Yes, thank you. We had some amazing trainers with us. We had Geeta Krishnan ma'am, who spoke about activities and icebreakers and how important they are. We had Dr. Shankar Vishwanath, who spoke about how to boost your training career. And we had Rakhi Vijay Nair, who spoke about the PI model, the performance, image, and exposure model to boost your training career. In that, two important people like Geeta Krishnan ma'am and Ashraf Ali, they both spoke about activities and icebreakers, right? In fact, Ashraf Ali spoke about how to become a games bot, right? It was how to include icebreakers, activity on an activity-based training session, how to design one, right? We all know how important activities are in creating the engagement and education part of our training program. So I would like to understand your take on icebreakers and activities and how you incorporate them into your training. Yeah. So if you can put your hands up, we can go one by one. We would like to know how you use icebreakers and activities in your training sessions and how it has benefited you. Yeah, who would like to go first? Yes. Yeah, Shweta, would you like to go?
This is my first session, so
No, in your trainings, since you have been a trainer, okay, we would like to understand how you use icebreakers, activities in your training
okay.
and how it has benefited your trainings.
Okay. So in my case, usually what I do, I use two ice-breaking activities. First is this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 activity, which is a musical based activity in which I gave some numbers and the participants have to conduct like some activities related to that number. So number one is like when I said number one, they have to jump.
Okay.
And then coming to 2, they have to clap. Then coming to 3, they have to laugh. Coming to 4, they have to say, yes, we are the winners. And coming to 5, they have to say, they have to just sit down at their position. So it will break the ice also, and it will also energize the participants for like upcoming the learning session. So it is a great ice breaking activity, I can say. Coming to second part, I usually do a crush ball activity, which is based on breaking the perceptions of the people. So how we can do that? We just take a piece of paper and we have to write our 3 visible qualities, not the name or not any quality related to our mind or something like I am a happy person or I'm in a good mood or I am feeling nervous. No, only any visible quality. For example, I am wearing a different kind of bangle or I have different haircut, anything which is related to me, which is unique about me, but not as related to any internal part of the body, just which is visible. Because usually we perceive people on the basis of their like on the basis of their personality, their attire, something like that. So that is why I use this crush ball game to break their perception. And I just ask them to write any 3 things about them. So what they do, they feel like, oh, it is so hectic to write only 3 things about myself. But even then they do that thing. And after like using that paper, just a minute, after like using that paper, for example, I give them this paper, you have to write your name and then you just have to crush this paper. So it become like a ball. Okay, then what all the participants have to do, they have to make a circle, and in that circle all have to just put this ball in that circle, everyone. And then what they have to do, I just start the music, and they can throw this ball at anyone till the time I said stop. They just throw it to anyone. They just put it like a stone and they just throw it on each other. And then at the end of the game, I just said stop and ask everyone to take one slip with them. Okay. So what they may have those quality in hand, but which this slip doesn't belong to them. So what they have to do based on these three qualities written in the slip, what they have to do, they just get one chance to guess the name of that participants based on that these three qualities. So most of the participants get confused. No, maybe he is the one or she's the one. So almost all the participants get confused. No, or like 2-3 participants give right answer. So this gives the learning of perception. Okay, so how we judge person or the other person on the basis of their personality or the basis of their attire. So this is one game I used to do for ice breaking.
Wow, that's amazing. I think these two activities can also be used as energizers post lunch, right? Because they will pep up the energy. Everybody is up, running, and noticing. So many people have a hard time finding energizers for post lunch activities, I feel. So yes, Sajan would like to go next. Yes, Sajan.
No, actually, I did not raise my hand. I was clapping for Shweta.
Oh, you're clapping. I'm sorry. I thought it was a hand raise. I'm sorry. Beena, was that a hand raise or a clap? So, Beena, was that a hand clap too?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So nice. So coming back to
this is the difference.
Yes.
These are the two differences.
Okay. Fine. Nice.
Anyways, I will share today. Like I did a training after a long time. It was an online training. So I used the icebreaker Simon Says to introduce the topic of adaptability.
Okay.
Change, huh? So I used it for that because Simon Says would keep giving different commands and they had to guess what it is. And so I used it to introduce adaptability as a topic to them.
So what were the commands that you used, Beena?
Your
specific topic? I mean, just to...
The game I use, Simon Says to touch your eyes, pull your ears, clap your hands, touch your head, turn around.
The same activity. All right. I thought we adapted it. So
no, I just use that because see, it gets very difficult to do any sessions with them online. Okay, so I have no light. So what happens is then I just used this activity because it was their very first training session, and I just used that to introduce the topic to them. And for me, it was a challenge today because I had to repeat everything that I, said, everything that was there, which is the slides were in English, but the crowd was Hindi. So whatever was in English, I had to do double. I had to again translate it into Hindi. I had to speak it and create it in Hindi for them. Like that.
Okay, that must have been a challenge.
Yes, because it was a 3-hour session and it took quite a toll, like, keep on talking because in English and then in Hindi to translate and get them to get the... Yeah,
I do sometimes face that. In Hyderabad, there is a mix of Telugu and Hindi crowd also. So I have to tell in English and then in Hindi and then in Telugu also. So that has helped me a lot to improve my Telugu actually. Yeah, it happens. Yes. Nice.
I can understand kunchum.
Ennadu koncham?
She understands.
Koncham
is Tamil. కొద్దిగా అర్థం అవుతుంది తెలుగు.
I can only understand.
She'll reach there in some time.
Yes. Okay. I reached. So you also can. So about post-lunch activity or post-lunch energizers, we would like to know if somebody has any great ideas, because many people ask for these. Like if they have a hard time coming up with post-lunch activities, because after a heavy lunch, everybody is dozing off, and how to bring them up, how to get them back into the training. Yes, Shweta? Yeah.
Yes, so I can give an activity, and even we can do it right now if you all want to do it. If you
Yeah, we love it. We love it.
Okay, done. Then what we have to do, just we all have to do one thing. Just put your hand like this, everyone. Okay. So when I say one, you have to tap single one finger on your palm. Okay. Yeah. When I say two, then two fingers. When I say three, then three fingers. When I say four, then four. Okay. And when I say again one, two, any finger, I say 1, 2, 3, 4. You have to just do like accordingly. Okay.
Yeah.
Done.
Yes.
But perform this activity. What we have to do, we have to just close our eyes, because this activity is called as rain activity. So we have to feel the rain. Okay. So we all can do this. Okay. We can feel the rain, but in case we want to feel it, we can feel it through our eyes, because you have to feel it. Okay. So just close your eyes. Close your eyes and show your palm like this. And when I say one, you have to tap like this. And I need to ask everyone to unmute yourself so that we can hear the sound from everyone.
Yes, whoever can unmute, yes, please go ahead, unmute so we can hear the rain.
But we have to enter the silence. We just need sound of your tapping. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Please, Padma ma'am, Viji ma'am. Yeah, Daisy, please, Rashmi, Lata, Sandeep, whoever can do, unmute yourself, please. Okay, so just close your eyes. One.
Where is my mic?
Two. Three. Four. One. Two. Three. Four. One. Stop. See, this is an energizer. Maybe in online you can't feel that energy, or you can feel that. But I am literally sure I used it many times, and my participants would be like, "Oh my God, so refreshing," because they can feel that. After that fourth step, when you again start with one, then it would be so energizing. You can feel the sound.
You are not audible.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. So I'm saying it is a great refreshing energizer for post-lunch session, especially. I just guarantee you just use this activity. And after that fourth step, when you again start with one, then it would definitely give you a freshness. Oh my God, it feels you like raining in the classroom.
Yeah,
Right.
it did.
Yeah,
Yes,
even I did this when I was one of the participants, and you feel the sound of rain coming.
Yes,
It's like a tap 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 tap, पानी आ रहा है, ऐसे आवाज आती है, and you
Only
feel
rain clap also.
Rain.
it's I think we have done this in body percussions, which somebody has taken that
Geeta,
session.
ma'am. Yes.
Yeah.
Geeta Krishnan did this. Yes, body percussion.
Yeah, she did this. Yeah.
Okay.
It's nice. Yeah, it's nice. It
Wonderful.
actually feels like it's raining.
Done.
Okay. So, and yeah. So, and just last week when we
Why
had.
don't you ask Elvis if he wants to share about any of the activities that he uses?
Yes, Elvis.
I think I shared many in the 10, but okay. See, you can also bring people in the circle and make them enact as if they're carrying a very heavy object and they're passing it, passing the parcel. There is no object in the hand. They just need to imagine and they're acting it out. It's very heavy. Then you act it out as very light. as if you're carrying a cotton. In the first instance, as if you're carrying a 10 kgs metallic object, okay, and they're passing it. So it's great, very simple, but it changes, makes a very what do you say, the environment very lively and fun filled. Then you can do it, forward, reverse. You're passing the object forward, you're passing the object in the reverse. Yeah.
Okay.
So
does the trainer actually instruct like heavy, light, forward,
yes,
backward,
yes,
only,
yes,
or
yes,
yeah?
yes.
So we guide them.
So you keep changing the modes,
Huh.
and they need to switch the mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, you make them stand in a circle and let them act it out.
That's
Then
great.
you can make them pass it as though you're cryingly, that you're crying and you're passing, and then maybe you're laughing and you're passing. Yeah,
Okay.
all these variations you can do in that.
I generally do this for college students, a simple one, like there is actually, we draw a straight line, okay, but there is no book or anything on their head, but they have to imagine that they have a book on their head and walk on that straight line.
Great.
So how they do that, they have a lot of fun. So they act as if it's falling, and they are as if they are walking on a tightrope. We make them
You
walk.
can do a variation also. You can use dramatics also here. Say any dialogue. Okay, just take a dialogue, and let them say it as though it's a sad emotion, or make them say the same dialogue in a very happy emotion, very serious.
They love all that.
Yeah, in a very slow motion, in a fast forward.
Yes.
All these variations you can do. It's part of dramatics, but you can use it in trainings as well.
Yeah, those would be great energizers post lunch.
Right.
They would love that. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So any other
Thanks,
contribution? Anyone else would like to share?
I would like to add one energizer.
Yes.
Satyavani.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah. Actually, we are supposed to ask all the participants to stand in a circle. And then whatever the instructions I'm going to give it to you, you have to follow. The instruction is jump in, jump out.
Right.
Jump in, jump out. That's how I am going to give. Immediately, I'll change my instructions. Whatever I am saying, you have to do the opposite. When I'm asking you to jump in, you have to jump out. When I'm asking you to jump out, you have to jump in. Or else when I'm asking you to walk, you have to stand. When I'm asking you to stand, you have to put a step.
Right.
That's how attentive listening skills activity. In the other way, it is going to work like a energizer.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
So this is done as a single person activity, and also a group. Like we ask them to walk in a circle, and suddenly ask them to stop and behave like a statue, right? And so this is an individual activity. The next is I ask them to group into 4 or 5. And now again they move around. When I say stop, they have to form groups of 5. And when I say stop, they need to form a statue. But each person should have a role in that thing. It has to be theme-based. It can be anything. They can form a cricket, team of cricket players or anything. They can form an idol. They can form something. It has to be theme-based actually. So it's very well in a group. They promote with innovative ideas, and this one group activity I do usually. I play this musical chair in a different way. The musical chair we usually have, we remove one chair, right? But here I make use of bags. Okay, suppose we have 10 players. I have nine bags. So in the first round, all of them should fit in. Here nobody is sent out. Everybody has to fit inside that bag. The next round I remove one bag, so we'll have 8 only. Now again they have to fit into that 8 bags. So there will be a stage when there is only one bag and all of them should fit into that bag. So how they fit into that bag is they have to use their own creativity and solve this. So this involves a lot of communication among themselves. They have to use their leadership skills and find out by how they can get into that bag.
all the 10 of them.
You can use newspaper also here.
Yes.
Newspaper.
Yeah.
Keep on folding it.
Yeah.
And all have to.
They have to keep.
So they have how they can fit themselves into their bag.
Right.
Then they just cut open the bag and all of them go inside it. So a lot of ideas also. How to
Fantastic.
That's great. Yes.
A similar thing like this is done by Japanese school children. So, like while we play musical chairs and one person is, asked to move out, the Japanese culture teaches inclusivity, and so they say that you can have one or two sitting on a chair. They don't restrict the chair to be chair to be used for one kid. So you'll find the children accommodating another person who's not got a chair. So right at the end, you'll have one chair with almost 8 to 9 children, or how many ever left, trying and sitting on one of the laps, and it's a very nice and interesting activity.
Never thought of that. That also can be put in. Wonderful.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Biji, Tushar? Yes.
Yes.
I think there's a question, Divya. Somebody's raised a question.
Yes.
Yes. So
what kind of bag? Padma ma'am, they would like to know what kind of bag you use for this activity.
Paper bag will do.
Okay, those.
But won't that tear?
Tear.
They have to be very careful.
Okay.
Yeah. See, the ultimate thing is the final stage. They will tear the paper only. So
okay.
Can you please repeat the activity, that paper bag, Wali? Musical chair. I didn't get much.
Suppose you have 10 people. So initially, all of them will have one bag for themselves. So they will accommodate themselves. The next round, we need to remove one bag. So we have 10 members and 9 bags.
Great.
So here, we don't send anybody out of the game. But how they adjust among themselves is the plan here. So all of them try to fit into the bag. Right, 2 will get into one bag. So next time you remove, we'll have 7 bags and 10 people. Again, to adjust. So when we come to the final round, we'll have 1 bag and 10 members.
We can also use sacks, right? Sacks.
Yes.
So the size varies. We have to think all of us can adjust inside that bag.
Okay.
So tear the bag and get inside.
Great.
Padma ma'am, in the end, when there is just 1 bag left, is it okay to tear it, and any piece of the bag can be, they can remain on that? Is that allowed?
Yes. You should not tear the bag into pieces, but they should such a way that they tear it in such a way it is intact. You get this heavy paper bags also, not the light. Get some medium bags, which can be kept surface.
Okay, Daisy.
But then we don't set the rule that you don't tear the bags, because maybe sometimes
there are a lot of rules. We will tell them don't tear the bags, don't be in a hurry, don't fight among yourselves, and so all these, because they start pulling each other to get into the bag. So we tell them be gentle. You have to be accommodated to your group members. How you adjust to your group, or one of you can take the leadership role and how it can be done in the final last 2-3 bags.
What I am thinking also is if you don't set any rule, okay, just tell them that you all have to fit in the bag.
Yeah.
And they go ahead and they tear it, and each one stands on one piece. Okay, it's like thinking beyond.
Differently.
Like going beyond the limits, like tearing the bag, and then
a lot of varieties are there in this game. We
doing
can
something unconventional.
Also, like you said, Elvis, that you can use newspapers. So I'm just thinking if they're allowed to stand on one newspaper each, and then you keep removing one of those sheets, like depending on the number, and then they'll be left with one sheet. So how many of them can put their legs?
It is the same sheet. It's the same sheet. The large,
they folded.
fully open. Okay, and then each round they make a fold. Just keep folding it, and as you keep on folding, the size goes on reducing.
Okay.
So at least a thumb, at least one toe or something has to be touching on that as a group, right? So they try to
adjustability and all. You can use this for adjustability and
so finally
leadership.
Yeah, finally they'll be climbing on each other to stand.
Yes.
Yeah,
Some people lift the other person,
yes,
and
yes, yes.
all that
All the
happens.
things
Yes.
happen.
Yeah. Sorry. So Daisy wants to know if this is similar to the deflated tube exercise.
What is deflated tube?
What is the deflated tube exercise, Daisy?
So you can carry a deflated tube, bicycle, the tire tube, there are two things in the bicycle wheel.
Yeah.
So you take the deflated tube, it is stretchable, right?
Okay.
And then you ask the entire team to fit into that deflated tube.
Okay.
And it has certain rules that it shouldn't be above your knee. As as you get into the adjustment mode, it shouldn't go above your knee, because then there's a risk of falling. Otherwise, so I think the idea here is to get the same exercise, how well you accommodate, and I think the result or the debriefing will fall in the same bracket in this exercise as well. Whether we use a bag or a tube or a newspaper, I think the objective is the same.
Great. Great.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
So
if
we were to add a variation to this, instead of taking one tube, you take 4 or 5 tubes in the beginning, and then begin with removing each tube. So you place 5 in the beginning. Let's say you have a team of 25 people, then you will see naturally 4 or 5 people will go stand within one circle. Then you, in the next round, remove 1 tube, and then there will be 4 left, and then remove 1, there will be 3 left, until it is 1 tube left and everybody has to fit into that. So it's just another variation here.
Great.
It is just that the tube has more flexibility and stretchability. And the other point we add in here is that the system will stretch if you make it stretch. Many a times people say, no, the system doesn't allow. The limitations are such. The policies are like that. But if the whole workforce is together in stretching the systems also change. The systems also stretch. It is just that you need to have that clarity, that alignment, and that, that force to make the system move. The system also will move, is another part of the debrief that we add to it if required. Otherwise, we don't want, pushing the system unnecessarily.
That's amazing. Yes. That's great. Thank you, Daisy. Thank you for that. Thank you.
Welcome.
So we will
very
try
different
using
and
that.
nice one, please. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. So the next one we would like to go. Chitra, would you like to take up?
Chitra, adjust your camera.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I don't know how many of us attended Ashraf's session here. That was on, using games as a mode of training. And he actually does a program called Games Bond, Become a Games Bond, and how you can use games through your training sessions and actually send across very strong messages to your participants. Did any of you attend in this group?
Yeah, I have.
Yes.
Yes. So what was
Yes,
your
even I have attended.
learning? Were you able to use any of what you heard in any of your sessions? Did you do one after that, and were you able to use anything, or have you used it earlier? Could you share
Yes,
your experiences, please?
a lot of
We'd like to
training
hear
programs.
from you.
Yeah, so we used it in a lot of training programs. Like one is the conveyor belt, in which you have this big sheet, which is like a conveyor belt, and you make 4 people stand in that, and there are different groups. So 3-4 of them, 3-4 groups, depending upon how many the people are. Accordingly, from one team, you take 4 people, make them stand in that conveyor belt. So the conveyor belt is something like this, hold it, but it's made out of resin, and it's a big, huge one. And then you tell that they have to go to one end, and then from there, the next 4 has to come in and come to the other end. So here what happens is there is a boundary. So you should not step out of the boundary. Secondly, you have to see which people you have to keep one after the other, so that, they can actually roll the entire thing. So all this leads up to how things are done in the corporate, how you have to delegate work, how work is transferred from one end to the other end, how they have to take the entire team along, and reach the goal without losing out on the resources or causing damage.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. See, I've attended many of Ashraf's program because initially I was in Chennai. So from 2016, I'm attending his program. He used to conduct a lot of programs for HR actually. So one was the balloon activity where they use a lot of balloons and make a chair, and you make the person sit on the chair. That is one activity. And the other one is this tarpaulin sheet with the colored balls. I have done that, okay, because the 5 different balls are of different weights actually. It is not of the same weight. And the tarpaulin bag has holes accordingly. So the entire team will hold the tarpaulin and they have to move the balls accordingly so that it hits the correct circle actually. So different colored balls, we have green color. It is a very interesting game where it needs the entire cooperation of the team.
And strategy.
Take the lead and they have to keep moving the tarpaulin. One has to hold it high. So after they play 4 times, they understand how it has to be done. So just the same thing into our organization, right? We have so many departments in the organization, how we need to work together, how to achieve results. It can be used for your marketing team also. Like you have the different hierarchy levels and how you need to get work done by them, because each and everything is very important. We can't say this being a small one, it is not important. So everybody plays an important role and everybody's role is very important. So we need the cooperation of each and every person. So that is a very, very interesting game. And the other one I've used is the marbles. You transfer the marbles from one end to the other using pipes, actually the broken pipes you have. So we have 6 members. So you just put the marbles in one end. There is a person who's going to put that. It passes on in that pipe. The other person has to go and catch it. So it goes on from one end to the other end. So this needs coordination, focus, attention of all the team members. So this is also a very interesting game. And there is one more game he has taught us about probability and guessing game, like 4 different colors, the color, just like similar to the color hats, like how you guess the color, and that's a very interesting game that we cannot explain unless it is played actually. It is actually a very good game actually. I think we should do it as a separate session. We should ask Mr. Ashraf to do it as a separate session. It's very interesting.
I have also used that broken squares game, in which the squares will be cut out into different shapes and then it will be given to all the team members. But they should not talk in the first round. They should not talk. And to show that the resource utilization, how the resources can be utilized, how we can help without asking. So in the second round, they can talk and then make the thing. And also that T puzzle, in which only when we have, that is 4 pieces will be there, they'll be asked to form the T. But it will be very difficult because we usually think that it will be in the horizontal position. It should be kept, the biggest piece must be kept in a different direction. And when that a block is given, that is the T shaped is given, then it will be easy to fit it. So that shows that whenever there is a set of rules or a procedures, when we follow that, we easily get the works done.
Great.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Something like this way. Something like this way. There are puzzles. The pieces are there, different pieces.
Yeah. Exactly. Yes.
And you have to make it into a T.
Yeah.
I attended it a few months back. So in that.
So Daisy was asking that she would also like to attend one of his sessions and how to attend. Any tips on that?
There is some sessions going on, I think now in May, September, October, Chennai and I think Mumbai is there, end of the month.
Oh, it's only offline, or it can be online also? We can attend.
No, it's only an offline session.
Offline
Totally offline.
When you attend offline sessions, you get his book also signed by.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes, sir. Yes, please.
Yes, Biji.
Yeah, so I was just saying that the marble game, if you want, no, if you don't have a pipe, you can use the casing for covering the wires, you get no capping casing.
Yes, casing, yeah.
I have used that. So that small also, you have to be more careful.
No, because pipe is
better version.
Yes.
The white
casing, say that again, please.
So the marble game, you actually take a PVC pipe, cut it into two. If you don't have a PVC pipe, you can also take a wooden pipe. You get that for some furnishings, na? They roll out the carpets and all.
Oh yeah. Sometimes you get those like pictures or even simple, even those agarbattis, no? That even that you can use.
Tissue
Any
rolls.
kind of cylindrical tissue rolls.
Tissues
Yes,
also.
tissue rolls. You can cut it in
That's
half.
also
and
a good
again.
idea. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Going
TT
back-
Job, sir. I couldn't get your name. Your good name,
My
sir.
name is TT Job.
Joe.
I'm
Okay.
attending this for the first time.
Yes, sir.
I'll just say
Welcome,
a few
sir.
words about myself since you're talking about Ashraf. My career has been very similar to Ashraf's. Only thing is, I started, both of us are engineers. Both of us were in government service. I was in the Air Force, he was in government service. And I took it up after retirement. He left service much earlier and at a younger age went in. Both of us do very similar things. He has been into it for 21 years. I've been into it for 23 years.
Oh, great.
Now I've reached a stage where I have throttled back and I've done about 1,200 workshops, of which 137 has been for TCS and close to 100 for Larsen and Toubro. And I started with outward bound learning. But in those days, you had to have fixed facilities to conduct these workshops. That was in the start of these activity-oriented time. That is 23 years back. So in Bangalore, you had only two places. One was a famous Pegasus. All of you must have heard of it. That is the Mecca for outward bound learning. And there was another resort on where they had made similar facilities. These were basically those things which are related to entry into defense services. And there were the testing methods used for entry for officers. And it was very, very complex and other things, but you required very, very heavy equipment and heavy investment. So this put a bit of limitations on the number of places you could do it. So I started trying to bring this into any resort or even into a large, a medium-sized hall. So I've got my own workshop in which I've been able to miniaturize those equipment and other things. And I had reached a stage where I could do up to 3 days of activity-oriented workshops without PPT. And there's also one more interesting thing which I learned in my career, which will be useful for trainers. I was doing a workshop for TCS in Pune. So as usual, you gather up all the people there. And at the beginning, you start off. And that time I used to use a mixture of PPT and hall plus outdoor activities. So after I finished with my icebreaker, and one chap, I asked him, anybody has got any questions? So he asked me, see, we are all IT chaps. You are a mechanical and aeronautical engineer. What is it that you got to teach us that we don't know? No, I was stumped for a moment. But, in being in Air Force, we are taught to think on our feet. So that day, I decided to dispense with PPT. So I said, okay, you asked a question, give me time till end of the workshop. So I did that entire workshop without lectures or theory and PPT. And how I did this is there was a very large whiteboard. After each activity which was there, I brought them to the hall and I told them one by one, give me one learning value. And I requested one person from the hall to help me with writing on the board. For the first activity, the only thing is you cannot repeat what somebody has already said. So what is happening is after each, and you have to say it, you can skip giving some input. And people do come out with a large number of points one by one. And the most difficult thing that they have is giving learning value in one word. Give them a chance, they'll tell you in a few sentences. This was limited to just one word, for which they have to think. And they also have to think as the line comes because of newer things, because somebody has already said it. So at the end of the activity, there are about 20 odd points of learning values related to management. They learn from that. So at the end of the day, the entire board is filled with the learning values.
Great.
So
from which place are you?
At the end of the workshop, what I say is I'm not going to give you any notes. All you got to do is take a photograph of this big, whatever is written, and that is the summary of the whole thing. Then I asked that guy, now do you think, have you learned something? He said, yes, this whole board says it. So that is how in one workshop, I changed my complete methodology of teaching. I do not drop pearls of wisdom. I do not teach any theory. I just get it out of them. And one big thing I learned there is, when I say, you should do like this, the first internally, mindly, what do you think is, why should I? Internally, nobody says it out loud. So in this case, what happens is whatever learning is there comes from your colleagues. And that goes in much more than an outside person. So that has been my method ever since that particular day. So I thought I'll bring it in. And there was also a little bit of thing, because most of my activities are long ones. So there's really no need for me to have an icebreaker. But there was a little bit of talk about afternoon activities, how to, first activity in the afternoon. That's very, very important. Because that's a time when the great lunch, especially if you're doing it in a resort or in a hotel, it's a very good lunch, and that you have to really keep them awake for rest of the time. Now, I use a small thing from NLP. How many of you are into NLP? Okay, fine. This is, those who are into NLP would already know about it. This self-hypnosis. They're just asked to close their eyes. And after that, I take them on an imaginary journey into the hills or the sea or other places. The whole process of, and I'll be saying it in a monotone and preferably with some music at the background. The best music for this is something called Baroque music. The Baroque music, the advantage of that is 72 beats per minute, which is your pulse rate of a resting heart. So that is, you can download it from the net. Plenty of it is available. This very softly in the background, and you carry on with that story and take them all where you want to go and bring them back. It takes 1 to 1.5 minutes, that's all. But at the end of the minutes, most of them would have slightly dozed off. Then very slowly, you ask them to open their eyes, rub their eyes, stand up, and take 2 or 3 steps. And each one of them would have had a power nap of at least 20 seconds to 40 seconds. And invariably, the people do not go to sleep after that.
Go to sleep.
Thank you.
Even the first activity you said, like where you made them write on the whiteboard, it was like straight out of a Bollywood movie, right? Like, so there is always a rebel, and then the teacher comes in and then shows like, see, this is who I am. I felt that way, sir. Amazing. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much. And we have Shilpa and Jyoti quickly. If we can go, Shilpa. Yes, you have raised your hand.
Yes, good evening, everyone. So I would like to share, like when we, quickly I'll share. So at the beginning of the session, we always have introduction session, right? So I just try to make it more expressive. Like I call each and every student on the stage or in front of the whole class when I'm doing it for students in colleges. And I give them 4, 5 or 6 pointers like your name, where do you belong to? Like people from Chennai, they may come to Pune for education purpose, or I mean, you migrate somewhere. So I want them to tell them like where do they belong to, basically, and their education, hobbies, and all that, whatever we ask them. And I ask them to tell one thing about any of their friends, one good thing about any of their friends. Also, if they have any kind of hobby or some talent or skill like singing or dance or something like that. So if it is possible to perform over there, I ask them to perform for a minute. So sometimes I take this introduction activity, it becomes quite, time consuming, but it helps them to break their stage fear as well as express themselves. I also ask them to talk about their family in brief, because when you go outside, especially youngsters, they always forget their family members. They are more into friends and social. So I always want them to recall about their family and one good thing about their family. So that also I ask them
It's
to.
also very good, public speaking
Yes,
skill, right? It's
and
good for
it
the
helps
public.
them as an activity for public speaking also, because there are so many students, they just don't want to come in front of everyone and talk about themselves or talk anything. So that breaks their fear, stage fear. It helps them for public speaking. It helps them to perform in front of people. I mean, after that, I get very good feedback. Like I never knew that I can do this also. And now onwards, it will be, And one more activity I do, like when I go for know yourself or discover yourself, after this, before going for SWOT analysis, I take it into detail. So I want them to understand themselves. I want them to know themselves better. So for that, what I do, for each person, whatever is the name, like for my name is Shilpa. So it starts from letter S. I ask them that you can search for, you can just recollect whatever skills you have, whatever talent you have, or what kind of person you are, you think. Okay, search one word, express your personality in one single word, and that's an adjective, and it should start with the initial letter of your name, like Shilpa. So it can be stunning Shilpa. If it is Daisy, it is dazzling Daisy. Fantastic Falguni, like that.
We
And
had a
let's check.
similar we had a similar activity when Geeta Krishnan ma'am did, right? She asked us to give ourselves, this is very useful for virtual sessions, where we give ourselves an adjective and change our Zoom username to that.
Ranjini had shared.
Ranjini had done it. Okay,
So,
so
it
we
gives
changed our
them that
username to
insight.
that. Like many people came up with some cartoon character, she said, right? Like many people had Kung Fu
Superman
Panda.
characters, cartoon characters.
We had Doraemon, Divya. It's like that, yes. Even it's useful for virtual sessions also, right? To break the ice and for them.
But the idea behind this is that you should know yourself, your personality. So you have to express your personality. It's just not any name. It should be relevant to your personality. It should suit to your personality, the kind of personality you have.
Even
And
the
after
first
that,
one
I
you
go
said,
for
right?
core
Even the
analysis.
first one where you said you asked them to introduce them. Geeta Krishnan ma'am, we did our name with one action, right? Veena? Yeah, we had to do action along with our name. We have to say an action, right? That is also a very good one. This can be used both
So we can
offline
add
and
many things to
virtual
that.
for people to know.
Yes.
Yes.
We can add many
Thank
things.
you.
May
Thank
I
you.
add one?
Yes.
May I add
Thanks a
one?
lot. Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
So
May I
Jyoti, we
add
will
one
go
more?
to
Yes, Elvis, you're
One
saying
word
something?
extra.
Jyoti has her hands raised for quite some
Jyoti has her hand raised, so we will get Jyoti and then quickly wrap. Yes.
I'm not going. No, Divya here. I would like to Jyoti, 1 second. I would like to add Shilpa's point. May I?
Yeah.
Yes, Satyavani ji. Yes.
Yes, sir. May I?
Yeah.
The
Yes,
activity
yes,
of the introduction session, if the introduction can be given in such a way that this X is going to introduce about Y is going to introduce about Z is going to introduce about X. If you are going to give the triangle way of introduction by telling the name of the person, educational qualification, family background, previous achievements, and future dreams. 5 points to be revealed about the opposite person. Then debriefing will be too good in this activity. Same introduction, but not the self-introduction. They have to give the opposite person introduction.
Other person's introduction.
Yes,
okay,
yes.
so do we like, okay, so sometimes in corporate training, it happens that there are people from different teams, right? So they actually don't know the other person. So do we give them time to like learn about the other person, or do they
Exactly 2 minutes only, Divya. We are going to
so they have to learn about the other
time.
person and talk about them. Oh, good.
Lot of debriefing will go on based on that particular introduction session itself will take half a day. The entire communication and body language and interaction, memory power, so many points can be debriefed during this session.
Using this activity.
Yes, sir.
Very nice.
Thank you. Thank you. Sorry to disturb the.
No problem. No problem. Yes. Yes, BG. Yes.
So I just tweak it a little bit and I say, can you introduce, like, for example, Shweta as a celebrity? So like, suppose myself and Shweta is the pair, then I will say this is one of the great celebrities in this universe, and whatever 3 things or 4 things that you have asked about the characteristics. So when somebody else introduces you as a celebrity, there's a feeling of, awe and the cohesion happens very nicely. So especially in interdepartmental teams, when you do these kind of activities, there's a team bonding that happens.
Definitely. And you also get to know what the other person is, how the people have perceived you, right? How you have, what kind of exposure you have. This reminds me, like Rakhi's teaching about the PI model, right? Performance, image, and exposure, right? This also shows what image you have created for yourself within the organization and how people are perceiving you. What is it about you they like, or how they perceive you? That's great. Yes. So
Jyoti is left.
Jyoti had her hands up, but then she said that it was just a call connecting dots. It was not.
Okay.
Guys, keep on talking. I anticipate a Slack. Keep talking. Got it, guys. Now, very crisp question. Okay, I had a question. I'm not sharing because you guys already shared and might be overloaded today. I have a query. Okay, it's very, very difficult. When it comes to virtual, because attention span is very rare, and people practically, turn off the video. God knows they are there or not, but you are still going on and on and on.
Ask me. Today I had a dispel this after the break.
Darling, let me come. Guys, you're a trainer, you have to be good listener. Okay, so now my query is, okay, is there any activity which is not just an introduction level or not just, fun level, but deeper, that can get the attention of a learner at least for 15 to 20 minutes? Do you have anything to share?
That's a very good question. Yes, Elvis?
You can put them in breakout rooms. No?
But Elvis, now a lot of times, sorry to interrupt. So a lot of times the teams, people play on teams. And our teams, as a trainer, I have a very limited access for team. मैं अपना presentation ही दे पाती हूँ, that is also good enough on teams. Because teams are not Zoom, so not very flexible.
Right.
And HR say, I will not operate, I will not put them, in a breakout room. Then
there is this storytelling thing, right? You tell them like, I'm going to tell a story, and then you tell them we are going to ask a few questions, and then that monotone storytelling, and then you ask a few, and there are a few. Even one of us conducted that mathematical question, right, where he loses. How much was the loss finally?
Here, I would like to add one point.
Yes.
Instead of
Divya?
story, Satyavani here.
Oh, Satyavani, yes.
Yeah. Divya, storytelling and asking the listener the questions and all is secondary part. Story building is going to be more proactive. Story building. You should start with a story. Once upon a time, there was, I'll just put a gap. Then the next person has to fill the blank. That's how the story building should move on. It gives some creative thoughts and imaginary visionary part will come. Story building.
Also,
Yes.
online assignment. Let them do group assignments online in the session itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
But also, my question was that how to form a group where I have a very limited access.
Can I suggest something?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, please, Daisy.
Yes,
I don't
Daisy.
know how many of you are aware of Padlet and Miro as a tool, virtual tool. How many of you use Padlet?
Know of it, but I don't use.
We might have used other versions of it. What does it do?
Okay. So Padlet ensures that you know how many people are participating. If I've understood the question correctly, I'm sorry I couldn't get the young lady's name. Jyoti, yes. So if I've understood Jyoti's question correctly, the problem is that in a virtual session, their cameras are off, their microphones are off. You don't know whether they are there or not, and you're still trying to communicate, right? And the response is very limited. Have I got it right, Jyoti?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Padlet is the, if I can use the word in Hindi, Padlet is the Ram Baan Ilaj for that. Okay. What you do is you create your, sorry.
Tell me, I'm all ears unseen because I'm having a big problem with the attention span of members.
Sure. So please explore Padlet. Yeah, online. Padlet.com. You get about 3 free Padlets. For anything more, you have to subscribe, pay and subscribe. Since 2020, I've been using Padlet with only those 3 because I keep remaking them. I haven't paid a single penny for Padlet, but I'm continuously using it. Now, it gives you multiple templates. It tells you what you want to. I even do the expectation setting on that. So I have a wall. It is a real-time thing. People can write real-time and they can write their name or they can write anonymously, but you still know how many people are writing, how many people are present. And if, let's say, you see only 10 people responding, then you can always, kind of nudge them to write more. Sometimes we make sure that it comes with it's not anonymous. So people who are participating, their names will show on each Padlet sticky that they put on, and you know if everybody is participating. Sometimes when you're not able to make group breakout rooms, Padlet gives you groups to grouped, what do you call it? Sections. So for example, if I have to, let's say, take an opinion on where 2 or 3 different categories could be there. So I will define the category beforehand. For example, I'm working on leadership. So I will make 3 columns. One is the traits individuals will show, that will be leadership traits. The traits that will go into team building and the traits that will go into organization building. Now people will write under these 3 brackets. So I know who's writing under which bracket. So Padlet has been my go-to tool. I use Miro, but I use Miro only with very technically savvy teams. Padlet is something that can be used with absolute novices as well. Bacche bhi istemal kar sakte hain. It is that powerful a tool. So, and simple a tool. So Padlet use karo Jyoti. Aur aapko koi bhi doubt ho, to we are all connected on the group. Please feel free to ask. And please experiment. Padlet.com खोल के बैठ जाओ. Your system won't explode. कुछ भी click करो, आपको उसका feature पता चलेगा. So don't wait for anybody to tutor you on that. Just keep exploring and you'll get it.
Oh. One query, last query.
And virtual में एक चीज आपको I was mentioning a game named This and That. I play it in virtual also. So what happens is I just say this and that. Okay. But then this and that is every time related to something, some body movement. So when I say this, you have to jump. When I say that, you have to sit.
In virtual, how do you jump and sit?
Yeah. Yeah, so because you're sitting on your chair, right?
No, but for them, they have to
push your chair back. That's all right. Push your chair back right now. Everybody's sitting, right? Push your chair back. And I say, when I say this, you have to stand. When I say that, you have to sit.
Okay.
Okay. This. That. This. That. That. This. I'll do this till I get your body moving. The idea is to get you out of your slumber and stupor.
Yeah.
When I'm in a classroom, what I do is I use a lot of masking tape. So I draw a straight line with a masking tape. Room में आगे से पीछे तक masking tape बिछा दो एक straight line में. Okay. And then tell people to line up on that masking tape. So this they jump right, that they jump left. And now you keep doing this, that, they'll keep jumping left, right, left, right. The idea is to energize them, right? After 30, 40 seconds of doing this, that, everybody's energized, everybody's blood is flowing, all their need is gone, no more yawning, and the attention span is back.
Thank you. That's amazing. Thank you so much. Jyoti, was that helpful?
Definitely.
Yeah. Sure.
And Elvis done the cheat still.
Yes, Elvis Magic 10 Day had a lot of activities, so you can check that. That's available on YouTube, right, Elvis?
Yeah.
So you
Entire
can
playlist
check
is
the.
there.
Yeah, Mr. Job had raised his hand.
Yeah, mine was slightly in continuation with what Ms. Jyoti had asked. This is useful both for online and offline. One of the biggest problems is people come before the workshop starts. There is some time available of about 5 minutes to 10 minutes where people are coming and joining. So what I do is, this is would be known to most of you. It is a 9 dots game. You just put 9 dots on the board or on a paper and ask them to, you have to have a paper and pencil for this. Even on virtual games, ask them to come prepared with a pad and pencil. Ask them to draw 9 dots with space in between them. That means 3 vertically and 3 horizontally. So you got the 9 dots. And the task given is to join all the dots with 4 lines, which are continuous lines, but they can be joined. So most of you would be actually knowing this. And if you do not know, the answer is available on the net. You Google for it, you get it. So this will keep people going till you start the either virtual or the actual workshop. And there will be some people who achieve this or get the answer. For those people, you give the second task of doing it with 3 lines. Now, the answer for this is not really there on the net. And I leave it to you to think how you can do. First, try and do this with 4 lines. If you already know it, then try and do it with 3 lines. The second part is, when you got a long virtual workshop, you have to go to the net. There are small activities which requires paper and pencil. The reason people switch off is because they got nothing to do while you are talking. And they got very little to talk during the workshop. But every 15, 20 minutes, you give them a small activity. And there are plenty of activities you can relate to the topic which you are taking. And there are plenty of it available on the net. So if you are able to give these things, it would keep people from, switching off totally. That's all.
And there is also this site called Sessions Lab, right? It has amazing activities and things like this, resources for your training that you can use. I can share that link also. It's also a very good one. A lot of resources for training content.
A lot of activities.
There's
Lot
also
of activities.
a site called Playmeo, no? It is also very good actually.
Say that again, please.
Playmeo, Playmeo. It has got lovely.
Okay.
You can download it, and it describes the activity and what it is done for, and how you have to do the review of the activity. There's a very good activities from that.
Play me up.
Yeah, Play Me Up.
Divya, what is the one that you recommended?
Sessions Lab. I shared
It's
the
Sessions Lab.
link. Yeah,
Chat.
Sessions Lab. I have shared the link. I am sharing the
This
link
is
for
Play
Play
Me
Me
You.
also. Yeah.
I've used Session
Good.
Lab for many of my sessions. Very interesting.
Very interesting. Yes. Okay, so we have come to an end. So let's wrap this up pretty quickly. Before wrapping it up, I have a very important announcement to make. I wanted to make it to this to more audience, but it's okay. IAM actually we being this one big huge family, right? We have been helping people with your training, your professional life, and your career. But we then thought like family not just does that, right? We are not only helping each other with their work. We want to show our love to your love also, right? We just don't want to be giving you insights and sharing tips and making you work all the time. We want to have a lot of fun too. So we came up with this Chill Pill Friday session. Okay, we have designed a great, entertaining and fun session every Friday, so that before you unwind for the weekend, we can all get together and have a lot of fun before we unwind for a Saturday or Sunday, or getting ready for another great week of training session. So the inaugural session is scheduled for this Friday, 20th of September. So I expect you all to join us and participate in this amazing fun session. It's going to be very interesting. We have a lot of things planned. And one thing it will not be is work. We will not talk about training at all. Okay, we won't talk anything about work. It will only be fun. Okay, we have some great things in line. So please do join us this Friday. And we have kept it at 8 p.m. Okay, so that you can all finish your dinner or everything and get your desserts ready. Okay, have it ordered, prepared, or please bring your desserts or chips or snacks or whatever, your can of beer. Okay, and get comfy in your pajamas, and please do come this Friday at 8 p.m. So we will make it a regular session so that we can all unwind, relax, and be our own self, right? On Friday, right, guys?
Great,
Thank
fantastic.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Sounds
Thanks
like
for
a
being
lot
here
of fun,
today.
Thank you.
Divya. And
Yes.
a big thank you to all of you for being here and for actively participating and sharing your inputs, giving in your inputs of your activities, your learnings, and what you do in your sessions. I'm sure all of us have learned something that we can go back and use it in our sessions here. So this is what IAM is all about. Sorry, somebody said something.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I thought you were done. I've just posted a Padlet link which recaps learning, so
Yes.
it'll be a good trial for everybody. You want to try that? I can share the screen with you and you will see how it pops up. So if you click on that, somewhere on your screen, if you're on the phone, it'll be at the bottom. If you're on the laptop, it'll be, I think, bottom right for you. There's a plus sign. When you click on that plus sign, it'll open a sticky note for you. Does it do that?
Yeah.
Just start writing and enter. In some time, you will see everybody posting on that and you will see who is writing what and you will know how many people are writing in real time. Somebody has written, hi, everyone. You can start doing your recap actually. You can say, this is what I liked the most. This is what I learned. This is what I will use. So whatever you think you would like to add.
Okay. Yes, this should wake everyone up and bring in their participation, right?
Yep.
Thank you, Daisy. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Thanks, Daisy. Yeah.
Thank you.
Is everybody able to see the magic on the screen?
We can't see your screen, so we have to
Not
go.
my screen, but on your screen.
Yeah,
you can
on
see it on the
Padlet,
Padlet
yes.
screen itself. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we can see nine of them, 9 screens. 10.
Yeah, why not? Yeah. As many people write, they'll
11.
start showing that.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Cool. Thanks,
Yeah,
everybody.
cool.
It was a nice
Thank you, Daisy.
everyone.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone, for
Thank
joining
you,
us
everyone.
today.
Good
Have a
night.
good
Thank
night,
you,
guys.
everyone.
Thank
Good
you.
night, everyone.
Good night.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thanks a lot,
Elvis,
guys.
and
Bye.
good night, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Divya.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Divya.
Chitra.